Migration and plant introduction. Let's discuss. Defining migration, plant introduction, history, objectives of plant introduction, type of plant introduction, procedure of plant introduction, important rules and regulations, merits and demerits in plant production, achievements of plant production. Migration. Migration of plant species can occur as a slow local process whereby a species migrates as a bronze in short step or as rapid process mediated by long distance dispersal events or jumps. However, plants can be said to migrate as seeds dispersal enables plants to grow in new areas under environmental constraints such as temperatures and rainfall. When those constraints change the border of a plant species, distribution may move so the plant may be said to migrate, as for example in forest migration. Migration of plants depends on the dispersal of seeds. Vegetative propagation is also responsible in few cases, but this must have played an insignificant role at the early stage of plant migration. Seeds are carried over to wider and wider areas by different agents. The plants that come out of the seeds that fall in a new areas need to acclimatize themselves in new situation for survival. This is some example of migration plants. Look here. Plant introduction. It consists of taking a genotype or group of genotypes into a new environment where they have not been grown before. May involve new varieties of crop or the wild relatives of crop species or totally a new crop species for the area. It can be done within the country or from the other countries of continents. History. During the 16th century and later, the Portuguese, British, French, and Dutch, in the process of colonization, introduced many plants in different regions. In India, Portuguese introduced new world crops such as maize, groundnut, chili, potato, sweet potato, guava, custard apple, pineapple, cashew nut, and tobacco. British East India Company introduced tea, lychee, and loquat from China, and cabbage, cauliflower, and other winter vegetables. Classical example. Number 1. Introduction of sunflower to USSR from Central Mexico, USA. 2. Chinese soybean to North America. 3. Ethiopian coffee to Central and South America. Objective of plant introduction. We introduce high-yielding varieties to increase food production. Example, rice and wheat. To reach the germplasm collection. Example, sorghum and groundnut. To get new source of resistance against both biotic and abiotic stress. To introduce new plant species, thereby creating ways to build new industries. Example, oil palm. Types of plant introduction. Based on adaptation, introduction are two types: primary introduction, second introduction. Based on utilization, again introduction are of two types: direct introduction and indirect introduction. Primary introduction. When the introduced variety is well suited to new environment, it is released for commercial cultivation without any alternation of genotype. For example, dwarf wheat varieties like Sonora 64, Lerma Rojo. Dwarf rice varieties like Taichung Native 1, IR8, RI8. Secondary introduction. Introduced variety is subjected to selection or use hybridization program with local varieties to get the improved varieties with some new characters. For example, Calyansona and Sonalica of wheat introduced from CIMYT, Mexico. Produce of plants production. Ways of procurement of plants or germplasm. Requisition of introduction of new crop plant or new variety should submitted to NBFGR, National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources within the country, or the IPBGR, or International Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. The material may be obtained on an exchange basis from friendly countries, or the material can also be purchased or obtained as free gift from individuals or organizations. B. Packaging and dispatch. Part of plant propagation of that species is non-propagule. May be seeds, tubers, runners, suckers, stolons, bulbs, root cuttings, buds. Propagule are packed carefully and dispatched. C. Entry and plant quarantine. One receipt of material, the entry inspection is done by the country for the contaminants and the presence of insects, disease, nematodes are checked. The material are treated with insecticide, fungicides, or nematicide and then released to the user. D. Cataloging. Introduced specimen is given number regarding species, variety, place of origin, and the data are recorded. E. Evaluation. Performance. Different substations are evaluated under different environments. F. Multiplication and distribution. Promising introduced materials are propagated and then released as varieties after necessary trials. Important rules and regulations. The importance and export of seeds, plants, production, and planting materials in India are regulated by the rules and regulations framed under the Destructive Insects and Pests Act, DFA Act of 1914. The main features of Act are: 1. The central government may be prohibited or regulate importation into India of any article or class of articles likely to be injurious to any crop. 2. Central government may prohibit or regulate to export from a state of interstate transport of any article or class of articles likely to be injurious to any crop. 3. The central government may take rules prescribing the nature of documents to accompany any articles or class of articles. 4. The state government may make rules concerning the detention, inspection, disinfection, or destruction of any article or class or articles likely to be injurious to any released variety. Seeds were not originally included in the DFA Act. The Government of India passed the Plants, Fruits and Seeds Regulation of Imports into India Order 1984. Many crops are included and conditions for their import are stipulated. Merits and demerits of plant introduction. A. Merits. It's provide entirely new crop plants to a place. B. Superior varieties may be originated directly or after selection of hybridization. C. Germplasm collection, maintenance, and protection of genetic variability. D. It is the most quick and economical method of crop improvement. When introduced material can be used directly. E. Introduction of some varieties to newer areas may protect them from some disease. B. Demerits. The weeds like argemone, Echilornia lantana have been introduced from other countries. B. The fungal disease like late blight of potato, plum smooth or wet, coffee rust, bunchy tuft of banana have introduced in the India along with plant material. C. Many insect pests like potato, tuber moth, woolly apis or apple were introduced in India. Achievements of plant introduction. in new crop science: potato, maize, groundnut, chilies, coffee, rubber, guava, grape, pineapple, many ornamentals like glummohor, salvia, aster, all have been introduced in India from outside. B. New crop varieties: direct multiplication and release as new varieties. Dwarf wheat varieties like Sonora 64, Lerma Rojo, and dwarf rice varieties like TN1, RI8. Crop plants like oat, soybean, tomato, cauliflower, onion, and etc. B. Selection of desirable varieties. Many varieties have come after selection from introduced varieties. Example, Calyansona sonalica. That's all. Thank you.